David Limbrick, Victorian Libertarian MP for South East Metro, joins us now. Really nice to have you back here.
Thanks for having me.
So we spoke the other month when the E-Safety Commissioner flagged that she was recommending YouTube be included in the social media ban. The government has gone ahead and done that today. Any surprise about that decision for you?
Well, no real surprises, but there might be surprises for people that believed the government's lie before the election that they said YouTube wouldn't be included and now it will be included as everyone expected. How can you have a social media ban and exclude the largest platform out there? It's just ridiculous. So what they've done is not a surprise to me, but it's disappointing nonetheless because I think that this is just an awful outcome.
We've seen obviously the way this is going to be enforced kind of be debated. We're still not 100% clear on that. And there's been a few various methods that have been discussed there. I guess the main thing that we've heard is verification, whether that's a photo ID or a live facial recognition. What kind of concerns do you have about that if that was, had to be implemented on all these platforms that are under the ban?
Well, we don't really have to speculate. We can just look at what's happening in the United Kingdom at the moment, and it's a total mess. It's a privacy nightmare. Platforms are being forced to collect information that they wouldn't otherwise be collecting, and then you've got all these problems further down the track with potential data security breaches and things like that. And sometimes people want to remain anonymous online. One of the things that people forget with this social media ban for kids, they think it's just going to affect kids. Well, they have to check everyone to make sure of your age, and everyone's going to be subjected to this. It's not just kids.
We know that there have been concerns about that kind of harmful content online, which I think most people broadly agree can exist. There are corners of the internet where that's going to be found. I think every site is going to have that to some level or another. Are there any measures that you would want taken by, from I guess your libertarian perspective, the government on that kind of content, or should this be left to the platforms, which has been part of the kind of criticism about lack of enforcement?
I don't think it should be just the platforms. I think parents have a real role to play in all of this. Parents are the ones that should be deciding what is and is not appropriate for their children to do online. The government, by coming in here, is sort of acting like the parent of children. And they do this in many, many different areas. And I think it's just wrong. Like, parents' rights need to be respected. Parents can decide when they think it's appropriate for their kids. All kids have different sort of developmental strengths and weaknesses, and some kids will be ready for certain things earlier than others. But I know that there's many teenagers, including my own sons, and I'm sure you're the same, Leo, who learn things online. They especially on YouTube. I know my kids are into science. They watch, Kurzgesagt. I know lots of kids watch that. It's a really great way of communicating stuff. Lots of, some of these things they'll be able to access through the free non-signed in access. But a lot of this stuff, when you log in, you get all the other stuff suggested to you. If you might be interested in science, you'll get other science things suggested to you. When you're not logged in, you're not going to get any of that. You're going to get no personalized content at all. I just think it's a terrible idea. Sure, like there should be pressure on the platforms to enable and empower users to make more better decisions. There should be tools to empower parents. And I know that Apple does a lot of good work in this space, with family accounts and this sort of thing. But like just having the government have this blanket rule like this really, really crude tool, it's totally the wrong way to go about it. It's going to affect everyone and it's going to have really negative consequences.
Just finally, and let's assume it goes in. I know that you would expect probably Google's going to go to the High Court about it, and that could maybe delay things. But say it does go in effect on December 10, and you need, before you even post a tweet, for instance, you've got to suddenly put in an age verification one way or another. Do you anticipate people are just going to start leaving social media altogether because of that, and maybe go to different sites, or do you think the initial thing will be to attempt to bypass it, which you mentioned the UK before, and it's certainly happening over there?
Oh, VPN sales will go through the roof, of course. Like people can bypass this. Kids aren't stupid. They know how to bypass it. They're already telling their parents. I've already had questions from my kids about when we're going to buy a VPN and which one we're going to use. I'm sure lots of other families are having the same discussion. We don't want to be subjected to the government's surveillance controls on the internet. Parents parents have the right to assert their rights to be parents, and the government can get stuffed on this, I think.
All right. Really appreciate your time, David Limbrick. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.